Yes, I'm an animal lover. But yes, definitely all animals should live free from pain.
Are there any industries where you pay for people to be violent towards animals? And by that I mean, do you consume meat, dairy, eggs, fish, wear animal products, visit zoos and aquariums, that kind of thing?
I do. So, yeah, I do. Like I said, I'm into fitness. So, you people say people shouldn't eat animals. Don't you think plants also have feelings?
What would stop you from being vegan as an animal lover?
Who stopped me from being vegan? That's a deep question.
Hi, this is Sheena, and today I'm here with Davis, and we're talking about animals. So I saw Davis walking down the street, and I asked him if he would like to sit down and have a chat about animals, and he said he has had a dog, and telling me a little bit about his relationship with dogs. He asked me about kind of what my relationship has been with animals, and I said, well, I've never really had a companion animal, so I never really had a close relationship with animals. And we kind of started talking from there. How are you?
Good, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. Would you consider yourself an animal lover?
Yes, absolutely. Especially with dogs. And when I was younger also, I used to love watching Natural World. Funny enough,
Which one?
it's like a National Geographic channel. Yeah, so I used to
Oh, yes, I know.
so I used to love watching it just to know how animals behave. And yeah, I think, yes, I'm an animal lover because my personality, I pick up my personalities from animals, actually.
How so?
So when I was younger, I used to love lions because they were really brave. So now I have a special affiliation for eagles
Why is that?
because they're just like the king of the sky. And as being the king of the sky, they just never die. They never give up. As being strong, they never die. They never give up. And when they have that moment of weakness, they know how to go high to the altitude to pick themselves apart and come back stronger again.
What do you think that we can learn from animals, be they big, strong, kind of, the ones we're traditionally taught that are strong, dominant animals, or the ones that are, say, more docile and easier to be managed or handled or domesticated? Do you think, first of all, that they're all worth living and living free from pain?
Oh yes, definitely all animals should live free from pain because, like I said, it's realistically, I feel like in their world, in their jungle, definitely they inflict pain on themselves. So they kill themselves and that's the way they survive. But then if we are domesticating them as humans, we should have at least that regard that they feel so. So we should, if we are going to domesticate them, the only thing is to do is treat them right.
I'm going to ask you another question. It's a bit tricky, and I'm not judging you here because I myself was part of the system for many, many, many years. Are there any industries where you pay for people to be violent towards animals? And by that I mean, do you consume meat, dairy, eggs, fish, wear animal products, visit zoos and aquariums, that kind of thing?
Oh yeah, I do. So yeah, I do. Like I said, I'm into fitness, so that's kind of like where I get majority of my protein from. So yeah, I do eat chicken, I do eat meat. We used to have a farm back home, so we have domesticated chickens. They grow old, really old. We call them old layers. So they lay eggs during their lifespan, for I think they live for like a year and a half. So that's just the farm producing eggs.
And so they're killed at a year and a half?
After that, a year and a half
After their egg production declines.
exactly. So that's when they're killed, and that's when we eat them. So
So a couple things that you mentioned there. Do you think we can get protein from plants?
We can, but not as much as we get from animals.
Why do you think that? Why do you think that?
Um, Plant protein sources are not enough for what we need to consume that would sustain us for a long period of time.
Where did you learn that from?
Science. I mean, I don't know, but I've read a lot of research. I've done a lot of sciences. I've done a lot of reading. I've tried some plant protein myself over time. I mean, I've tried several things, but it wasn't just enough. It wasn't adequate enough for what I needed throughout the day. As a really physical person, it wasn't enough.
You know, a lot of athletes, have you seen the film The Game Changers?
Oh no, I haven't.
So it's a really good film. It's on Netflix. So I'll give you a card. It's got The Game Changers on it. It's all about plant-based bodybuilders, plant-based athletes. Some of the strongest people in the world are vegan because you can get a lot of protein. You know, you're eating things, vegetables all have protein and all have the complete amino acids. You just have to, they all have it in varying levels. So when you're eating a plant-based diet, you do have to eat a lot more because it's digesting a lot faster. And that's kind of what a lot of people, if they've tried plant-based eating before, they don't eat in the quantities they're meant to eat because they're used to eating small animal-based, which is higher in fat, higher in protein, and a lot of concentrated calories. And it takes a long time to digest. You know, we have a long intestinal tract and meat digests very slowly. It's not meant really for our intestines. Our intestinal tract and our teeth and the acids in our stomach and our mouths show that we are primarily omnivorous and even side more towards herbivorous animals. So if you're eating enough quantity, you can get enough protein. So the largest body of nutrition and health professionals in the world, which is the American Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics, has said that a plant-based diet is suitable for all stages of life, including pregnancy, infancy, childhood, lactation, the elderly, and even athletes. So what do you think about that?
I mean, that's something I could try. I mean, like I said, I'm someone who's open to everything. So I mean, if it works, if I see it and it works and it actually works and it fits my lifestyle, definitely I'll give it a try. But
That's amazing.
that's just what I am. I'll try everything still.
Absolutely. I can give you some resources with good, just a couple films to get you started. And within those films, they have a lot of sources listed in them. And I can write down some more for you as well. Earlier on, you also mentioned about, you know, that you have had a farm or you lived on a farm and that you produced eggs or chickens or eggs, both chickens and eggs. So, and that they were killed at 1.5 years, right? So really, chickens, they can live 9-10 years, but humans have selectively bred them to produce 300, if not more, eggs a year. In the wild, the original chicken, they have 1 egg a month, same as a female, your menstrual cycle, right? It's the same as the chicken's menstrual cycle. They're meant to have 1 a month. Pardon?
I never knew that.
Yeah, so you can imagine the toll it would take on their body to have 1 egg a day. So their lifespan is a lot shorter these days. And when we take their eggs away from them, they instinctually want to lay a clutch of eggs. Okay? So when we take their eggs away, it sends a signal to their body to lay more, lay more, lay more. It's really taking something that doesn't belong to us. And it takes such a toll on their body. What do you think about those things?
Thinking about it now, it's like, oh yeah, that's true. Because I mean,
We don't think about it normally, do we? We don't think about it.
Because I mean, I'm just knowing that chickens just have more reproductive system like women also. So I think we've been indoctrinated so much, right from like when we're children, basically, to believe that. I don't think it's even an indoctrination. I think it's just the way humans have evolved.
Conditioned. There's no option in our minds. It's just this is how it is.
Because I mean, we've had people that have lived in the wild, and the way they only survive is to kill animals for meat. So I mean, it has started right from there down generations. So I mean, if we're just re-educating ourselves on how these things actually take a toll on the population of animals, say, per se, or...
And if it's not for survival purposes, you know, that's a very different story. Here for us in Toronto, do we need to eat animals to survive?
I don't know. But I mean, like I said, it's just the way it has been passed down as generations down to generations as source of food. And
That we think of it as a source of food.
now that it has been passed down as generations as a source of food, it's just like now when there's a new education coming, it's like, why are you trying to take it away my source of food? That kind of thing, you get defensive on. But the main idea is just to eradicate yourself and see how things work and probably just understand how things work and make the right decisions. I believe in evolving as humans, so
We know better, we do better, right?
when we know better, we do better. So
So sorry, what animals do you eat? You eat eggs? And can I show you a video on the egg industry?
oh yeah, sure. They're killed.
They're killed on their first day of life.
What? Oh, that's wild. We used to do that. I've had a lot of injuries from that in the farm also. It's giving me memories. This looks brutal.
How did those videos make you feel?
Yeah, that was brutal, man. I never knew all this, but that was brutal. Like, I didn't feel nice. It was just taking it as a way of life and we just continued to live. Never really educated ourselves about so much of the bulk of this thing. It's just what it is.
But does it have to be that way, or does it have to happen because of your purchases? It might happen because of other people, but as an animal lover, same reason you wouldn't be racist, right? A lot of other people are racist, but that doesn't mean you're going to be racist. Same thing with this. Do you think because other people are doing it, or so you say, well, that's always going to be that way, or a lot of people are doing it, should we still take part in it if fundamentally it's wrong?
Oh no, that's not the way anyone should live their life. So, like I said, it's just down to individual responsibility to educate yourself on how well to live your life and make the best decisions for yourselves. With the most education you have on things you want to do about your life. That's what I feel.
So what would hold you back from being vegan? Do you know the difference between being plant-based and being vegan? Do you know the difference?
Being plant-based and being vegan, is there a difference?
So, yeah, I know it's. I didn't know it before I was vegan as well. So plant-based is more you're doing it for health reasons. You're eating a plant-based diet. Veganism is an ethical standpoint against animal abuse. So you're kind of, you don't want animals to be abused in any way. You don't wear animals. You kind of see the ethical side of it as well. You wouldn't go to zoos and aquariums. You're against animal testing. So just seeing animals as a commodity and as a product, and you avoid certain...
That's vegan.
So what would stop you from being vegan as an animal lover?
Who stopped me from being vegan? That's a deep question. Genuinely, I don't know. I think just I haven't really thought about it because it's not my thing. So
Do you think you'll think more about it now?
of course, yeah, that's something to think about. We all need to learn to grow in this life. But now, I'm just having this conversation with you, and I haven't really thought about being vegan or whatever and all that. So I wouldn't exactly say this is what will stop me. But this is something to consider. You have to think about these things. I'll do more education myself and learn some things myself. And
So if I was to give you some resources, you'd be happy to learn about more?
absolutely, I'm a learner. I love learning. So
That's amazing. We should always continue to learn, right? There was a quote that said, I think it was Socrates has a quote that said, "The unexamined life is not worth living." Do you think that's true?
yeah, certainly. That's the way I feel everybody should live. You should
Question our lives.
You should always question yourself. You should always reflect. You should always sit back and just, what am I doing? How's my life going? That's just for everyone.
Because if we take things that are just told to us or given to us or taught to us, we can't just take what we're given.
That's not life to me. I feel like, you literally have to build your life. And by building your life, it's educating yourself and learning as much as you can and Well, I mean, like now moving forward, you're more educated, and so exactly.
And that's the important thing, isn't it? What we do with the information that we learn. Do you have any questions for me?
Always wanted to ask also. So this is just a funny conversation on Twitter, yeah. So it's like vegans versus is it vegans? Oh, it's just banter on Twitter, yeah. Like you people say people shouldn't eat animals. Don't you think plants also have feelings, kind of thing? Don't you think why would you want to pluck off their fruits? Blah, blah, blah. What do you think about that?
So, plants are living, humans are living, animals are, also living. But as science as is determined by science right now, they don't have the capacity to feel pain and suffer as a sentient animal would. So they don't have a brain and a central nervous system, which is kind of indicative and have pain receptors. They can respond to stimuli like this tablet would. They can respond to stimuli, but as science has right now, they don't feel pain and suffer like a human animal. Or
Sure. That makes sense. Yeah.
do you have any other questions for me?
Oh, no, absolutely not. This has just been a great conversation. That's it.
Yeah, it's been really good. It's been really good. I'm so glad that we had this chance to talk. I'll give you some information. So that was really good. Nice to meet you.
Meet you too.
Yeah, take
Thank
care.
you. No problem.